My mom asked me to watch my siblings for a week. It's been 9 weeks. My mom went out 2 days before Christmas and then texted me 12 hours later saying she would be gone for a week and for me to have the kids. She hasn't come back since. So almost 9 weeks. I have heard from her 3 times total, and she is saying she isn't coming back anytime soon. She just keeps sending money. My siblings are 16, 13, 12, 9, and 7. I'm 19. I'm surviving looking after the kids by myself, and TBH, not much has changed because I did most of it when my mom was here anyway. We live with our nan, but she doesn't help with them really either, and my older siblings are long moved out. I guess my question is my mom being gone a serious issue legally and with social services? I don't want to risk the kids going into care when they're done, that when I was younger, so I haven't told anyone that she's gone. I'm scared of what will happen if people find out, so I don't want to even ask the question, Earl. The internet was quick to respond. Expert Angle 8214. You need to report your mother for abandoning her kids, but at the same time tell them you will look after them. Your mom need to learn she can't do this to her kids and needs to be brought up on child abandonment charges. Oop. I would do that if it was guaranteed I could keep them, but I don't know if that's even possible or at all likely with so many of them and we aren't rich. Maybe 1 or 2 kids they would say okay, but 5 just seems unlikely they would let me keep them. HMDMDM wrote, is there any other trusted adult in your family? Aunt, uncle, cousin, something? Maybe they could come help you keep your family together? Op responded, we have some aunts and uncles, but none we are close to or who seem like they care. I could try that route, I guess. My older siblings are most likely to give it sh*T, and even they aren't being very helpful. Camper member *T wrote, why do you think your life prospects aren't good? You're 19. You have your whole life ahead of you. This is really unfair of your mom to put on you. I totally get not wanting your siblings to go into the system, but you need to think about setting yourself up to be in a position where you could take care of them if that's your goal. The youngest is 7. You're looking a long road of caregiving if you go this route, and you need to be able to support yourself and them if that's your goal. Op responded, I didn't do great in school. We don't have much money, live in a ****Thai area. I can tick most of the boxes for things that set you back in life. I work now and make a decent wage, but I just can't imagine being able to enjoy that if I abandoned my family. I have thought about it a lot, and I used to wish I could just go and live my own life, but reality is I would have no one and nothing to live for. Flower Odell wrote, where TF did she go? Is she in trouble? On Dr. *GS? Even if she comes back, this sounds super shady, and maybe she shouldn't be caring for them. You need to call someone. Op responded, she's done it before. Usually she goes to the same city, but I have no idea what she does when she's there. She tells everyone she's looking for our dad, but that's BS. Far as I know, she doesn't do Dr. *GS, but she has had issues with alcohol. She's *T in the mom department, but she doesn't care for them even when she is here. I do. Anonymous White Girl wrote, file emergency guardianship. You're an adult, so I don't see the law removing them if under your legal care. Not sure. Where are your older siblings? Do they know what's going on? Op responded, they moved out at 18 and we very rarely see them. I have told them she's gone, but they don't think it's a big deal as she has done it before. Op jumped on with another comment laying out some facts. I don't have POA or know how I can even get that. I assume it would come with legal guardianship. I think she does, but I don't really know the details or how much. She goes through phases of talking about that stuff, but she also lies a lot. She claimed she gets nothing from the government, but she also claimed she got thousands from our dad, which is impossible because he is the definition of a train wreck. I don't know when he has even had a job, as in if they got hurt in my care. We don't have access to that kind of thing as far as I know. We live in a small rural town with minimal access to a lot of services like that. I'm trying to find out, but not having much luck. I can make $4K, $5K a month depending on what shifts I am able to do. Lately, I can only work 30 HRS a week when the kids are in school, so can't earn as much, but my mom has sent money and my nan covers most bills, so I don't have a huge amount of expenses. Food for 5 kids is a lot, but I'm doing okay so far and can save a small amount. Food clothes should be fine. I mainly worry about birthdays and other big expenses like that, but that's why I'm trying to save as much as possible for those times no idea where my dad is. We haven't seen or heard from him for around 5 years. There were some serious abuse allegations from my older siblings, and he hasn't been seen since. Before that, he would come and go. The age gaps between the siblings are the times he disappeared. He would vanish for sometimes years, then reappear, and they'd have a couple more kids. I want to keep them here with us. So really just need advice on how to go about that. Letting them go into care would K*LL me, so it's not really the advice I'm looking for. But I do understand why everyone is saying that. A week later, Op shared an update. I spoke to my mom on the phone and told her I want her to give me custody of the kids since she is refusing to come back or say when she will be back, and I'm done with her BS. We argued for like an hour, but in the end she said she would do it after I told her I was going to call the police on her. Before speaking to her, I spoke to a lawyer, and I should be able to get legal guardianship through a parenting order, which will go through court. My 22-year-old brother said he will move home and help me under the condition that my mom doesn't move back as he refuses to be around her. His income and input will help a lot, and he seems serious about wanting to be involved with parenting and taking care of the kids, especially our little brother, as he needs a male role model badly. If we can't get custody, then my nan should be able to. Either way, my mom is very unlikely to keep custody unless she suddenly decides she gives a shit. I would bet my life she will never give a flying F***CK. Getting legal custody is the outcome I want, so I'm relieved it seems like a real possibility. Now I'm just doing a total overhaul of everything with the kids, because I think they need a lot more structure, discipline, rules, routine than they have had until now. I have realized I don't really know anything about good parenting, so I have a lot to learn. Maybe I will get some books. Until now, our house has been more like a house share, with everyone doing what they want and running around feral rather than anyone really guiding the kids. I grew up even more feral, and I don't think it's a good way to be raised. So I'm starting a bath and bedtime routine for the youngest too, and a curfew for the teenagers. Because RN, the 12-year-old, goes off on his skateboard and will just show up again at like 10 p.m. on a school night. I've also been giving them much better food than they usually have, and it's been rough to get them to eat healthy, but we have made so much progress already. Any advice on instilling rules would be welcome, as I don't think it will be easy, and I have never had any kind of actual parent role model in my life. People had a lot of comments and questions. Vegan Monkey wrote, "In another post you mention your dad. Where is he? He should step up." Up responded, "He disappeared 5 years ago after my older siblings started talking openly about how he abused them. We haven't seen or heard from him since. He used to vanish for years at a time and come back when he was bored or whatever, and my mom would try to keep him around with new babies. But I don't think he will be back again." Test 27,795 wrote, "I am so sorry you have the mother you have. There is no excuse. I give you full credit for what you are doing. I do not know where you live, but I thought you might want to know if you are in the S, there may be financial help. Please look for any government assistance you can get. Do not let that 12-year-old run free. Make sure he is in at decent time. 8 p.m. on school nights is good. The later he is out, the more likely he is going to run into older teens in trouble. Make sure he showers and wears clean clothes. Get his older brother to talk to him. He should have some chores, and he must get his homework done. Tell him he cannot go out after school or supper until his homework is done. If his older brother comes home, talk with him. If you presented a united front, it is better. Children always look for the weak link." Op responded, "Thank you. We are in Australia, but we'll see if there's anything we can get to help, as with 5 kids, it is kind of tight. We are good for the essentials, but I can't get them much that they want or do fun things that cost money, but are lucky to have the beach. I'm trying to make him see that me telling him he needs to be home at an earlier time is not me being dramatic. I took his skateboard today because he was about to go off as usual after telling me to leave him alone, hoping that will make him take me seriously, or my older brother might have to step in the united front is what I'm most worried about. Doing it alone, I know I can be consistent, but I haven't really seen my brother for like 4 years, so IDOWing what he will be like. On the phone, he seems pretty serious about everything, and hopefully he will back me up. I really think they will need us to be kind of strict, especially in the beginning, since we will be changing a lot of things around here. He will be here at the weekend, so I'll see if I think we can actually work together. The younger kids won't remember him TBH, so IT if it will be good to take it slow, or maybe better just go all in from day one. Total Independence 881 wrote, "You're probably off to a great start already as a parent to your siblings. Rewards over punishments to start with. Bedtimes, wake-up times, school attendance, and good grades, at least better than yesterday grades. And after school time expectations, go home. Ask permission to leave. Curfew. Always home at supper time. Chores before fun. Homework, etc. Whatever works for your family. Reward the crap out of positive behavior. Then move to punishments. Think of natural consequences, which is punishments that teach a lesson about what was done. Missing assignments at school, cleaning the house isn't natural, but losing privileges like playtime, going to friends, screen use is natural, because if you get behind at work, you need to take your free time to catch up. So if they play too much that they get behind at school their job, then they need to take playtime to catch up. Also think of punishments of away from things, but also punishments that are together with me. For example, kids act out because they are missing connection sometimes. So if you think the kid would benefit from a connection punishment, do that instead of a away from me punishment. An away from me punishment could be a timeout, alone in room, chores alone, taking away a toy screen. A together with me could be come do the dishes with me, cleaning up together, homework together, running errands together. Things that are not fun play, but are doing helpful things together, giving the opportunity to connect in the process." Op responded, "Thank you so much. This advice is exactly the kind of thing I need. For me, discipline has just been shouting, hitting, and being sent to your room until whoever wasn't pissed at you anymore. I want it to be healthier and just better for the kids. So thanks." Op posted a comment in response to generalized suggestions she get the kids therapy. "We can't afford therapy and don't have any access to it where we live. Even if we had the money, I'm pretty sure it would be a 3 HR round trip to the nearest one. X5 would be impossible. I will try to make sure to give them choices and listen to them as much as possible. I already approach things differently with them as their personalities are so different. Some need me to be a lot more authoritative to even have a chance of them taking me serious. One cries if she even suspects I'm mad at her. It's a lot to learn, but I'm willing to give it everything I've got and hope that will be enough." After receiving lots of support, Op posted another update in the comments. "Thank you so much for all the helpful comments here and messages offering help advice. I will reply to them all when I can. RN, I'm putting all my energy into the new routine and trying to sort out legal guardianship so we can get money for the kids, etc. Everything else is a problem for later on when we are more settled. My older brother came up last weekend and TBH it was nice, but weird because the younger kids don't even remember him, and they pretty much clung to me for the entire time because having a man in the house is strange for them. But after he left, they said they miss him and liked having him here. He's been sorting his S***T out this week and is coming back tomorrow with all his stuff and will be working remote from our house. Me and him have spoken a lot, and I think we will be able to get on the same page with the kids and make it work. I'm worried about some things with parenting differences, but we will figure it out. I'm trying not to seem controlling, but it's hard to adjust to someone else being very involved when I have been looking after them by myself. I know I need him, though. My nan was actively trying to undermine me, and we had an argument. Then my brother got here, and he had an argument with her in the first half hour. So she has gone to my aunt's for a while. She is still paying the bills here, But if she stops, we will be okay with my brother's money and mine. My brother wants to take the kids and move house, but I am not even thinking about that until everything else is sorted out. Now that things are actually changing, our older sisters are more interested and have been messaging me so they might help as well. The kids are not taking the new routine too well, but we are making progress, so I'm trying to stick with it. I made a meal plan and have stuck to that all week. My 9-year-old sister told me she likes rules, which makes it feel worth it. The teenagers are kind of a nightmare, but I'm trying to persevere with them. 13-year-old was being horrific, and I lost my S***T, which made her have an emotional breakdown, and now she's been a lot better. 12-year-old has taken it okay-ish. He just tells me I'm a loser all the time and asks for his skateboard back 1,000,000 times a day. But I know he knows where it is, so he is being pretty good considering he could just take it back if he really wanted. 16-year-old is hell. 7-year-old has like 3 tantrums a day and won't eat or sleep, so she stresses me out probably the most. My mom hasn't called anymore, but is complying with giving us custody and told her friend it's the best thing that's ever happened to her. I CBA with her, and if she tries to come back, I will do everything I can to keep her away from the kids. 2 weeks later, Op jumped on with another update. Hi, not sure if doing multiple updates is okay, but I have had a lot of messages since the Boru post and think it will be easier to update people who are interested like this, as replying to all is hard. Thanks to advice here, we have realized that getting kinship is a better choice for us financially than getting legal guardianship. This wasn't mentioned to us by the lawyer or social services, so I'm so grateful for everyone here, as we will have so much less financial stress on kinship, and we will get access to a lot more services for the kids. Things are already seeming so much less scary. My brother has come home to help me and is working remotely for his same job, which is ideal. He has been amazing at making it all happen so fast and packing up his life to move back. He is still back and forth at the moment, but should be here full-time besides a few days a month where he has to be there in person. Our oldest sister has said she will send some money every month to help us, but doesn't want to be involved other than that. I understand why and am very grateful she is helping. Honestly, it hurts a bit that she refuses to talk about the kids or anything, but she is doing what she can handle RN, I guess. Our other sister is working FIFO right now and has suggested coming back on her weeks off to help out, but I'm not sure if that will actually happen or work well in reality. My brother doesn't get along with her very well and says he doesn't think living with her again will work. The kids are still struggling with the new rules, and we have had some issues. 16-year-old hates me, so my brother is trying to take over with her because I am bored of fighting with her. The others are doing better, but still so difficult. 7-year-old wants sleep, which is the hardest thing right now, because then I can't sleep and I'm tired AF. She has meltdowns when she's tired, and she's always tired now, so she's always having meltdowns. What to do with her? Everything you try to make her sleep doesn't work that well. She says she doesn't know why she can't want sleep, so where to even start. My brother tried to get her to bed, and she just cried and screamed for me. 12-year-old is listening to our brother, which is the best thing to ever happen because I was really worried about handling him since he listens to me never. 13 and 9-year-old are easier and not stressing me out too much. So we are kind of divide and conquer now. My brother handles 2 and I handle the other 3. I have found out I am very protective of the younger ones and find it very difficult to let my brother discipline them, so it causes less problems between us if I deal with them. Still early days and hoping consistency will fix a lot of the smaller issues. Long term, we want to rent somewhere bigger as our Nan's house is very cramped and making things harder. This is long and messy. Sorry, just wanted to update everyone who has asked and thank everyone again for the advice. The internet was super supportive in the comments. Lesbian Censor wrote, "Glad to hear your brother is helping out. Especially with the teenage siblings, it's hard for them to see you as an authority figure, unfortunately, as you're not that much older, and it shouldn't be on you to deal with this. Having 2 people be a united front for them will be hugely helpful in establishing boundaries. Sounds like the 7-year-old might be dealing with anxiety. Kids are not great at identifying their own emotions. She's running from sleep because she doesn't feel safe to lie down and drop her guard. Strongly recommend getting them checked out by the GP if you can mention the trauma background. I know it's hard to find bulk billing GPS at the moment, though. Divide and conquer is the right strategy, as is consistency, as you mentioned. I would strongly recommend communicating the current home situation to the kids' schools. They may be able to hook you guys up with more social services, and if nothing else, it will be helpful for teachers to be aware of the situation in dealing with behavioral issues. But I am a teacher, so that's my bias law. Op responded, yeah, I think him being that bit older and the fact they haven't seen him for years has made him automatically more of an authority figure to the teenagers. The younger ones are a bit unsure of him still, and I think they will adjust to him better if he isn't being the strict one straight off. It's hard to find the balance with the different approaches for each kid. But 16-year-old went to a party last night and was texting me arguing about the preset pickup time we gave her, so my brother went to get her and she actually got in the car. If I had gone, she would have 100% told me to $K off. Yeah, she refuses to lay down and just hates her bed. Only way I can get her to sleep is by laying in her bed with her until I'm sure she's in a deep sleep. And that's after hours of her physically fighting me, crying, etc. Trying to get them to the GP is a huge struggle time-wise and money-wise. We'll get them in ASAP, but probably won't be that soon. Also don't have a car big enough for everyone, so would have to go in separate trips as well. The teachers are aware of the situation. They know my mom is a POS, and I have been doing parents' night, etc. for the kids for literal years. I told them she is away, and I am going for custody. Leonardo wrote, 7 might be having bad dreams, or maybe she feels being awake is the only time she has any control over her life. Did your egg donor leave during the night maybe? Either way, insomnia is a $CHE, and I sympathize with you both. Will she quietly draw or watch videos during the night while you sleep? Does she have a nightlife and white noise? Op responded, yeah, 7-year-old woke up on Christmas Eve to our mom being gone. TBH, she seemed kind of unfazed about it because she is not even remotely close to my mom. She slept in my room from like 4 months old, but it obviously has affected her. I think she is probably worried I will leave, so she's trying to stay awake to make sure I'm still there. I tell her all the time I'm not going anywhere, etc., but she just freaks out about bedtime every single evening. Even if I keep her in the living room with me and hope she will fall asleep without any pressure, she stays awake way too late considering she has school in the morning. And she still cries and says she just wants it to be morning already. The 4 kids are all in the same room and there is a nightlight in there, but 13-year-old turns it off because she says she can't sleep with any light. 7-year-old has never said she needs a light TBF. She slept fine in the dark before all this. Fatigue Era wrote, Op is an angel just for trying, and the brother is a hero for coming back to help out. I hope the kids realize what these two are doing for them and are grateful someday. That mom and the dad, they can rot in hell. 41 Flavor Sand Then Some wrote, I also have sympathy for the older sister who doesn't want to come back. When Op mentioned her oldest siblings were out, I thought, they escaped and were probably once stuck the way Op is. It's a messed up situation all around, and yes, the parents suck. Weeks later, Op shared another update. Back with another update for those who asked. Can't believe it's been over 3 months now. We applied for kinship and have had the provisional approval and the home inspection and some interviews. We've got a couple more things to dostal ongoing, and then we should be good. We got our first payment, which has been so good and really made me feel much more optimistic about everything because we will be able to actually do something other than just survive. The caseworker pretty much told me they don't want to have to find placements for this many kids, so us keeping them is their much preferred option, which is reassuring. My mom hasn't contacted me for a while. We thought she might show up on Easter because holidays are usually her time to cry about how much she misses our dad. And she usually prefers to ruin everyone's day with that. But she didn't come, thank God. Our Nan is still at our auntie's because she can't stand to be around us, apparently. because me trying to feed them good food and not let a 7-year-old disappear for hours on bicycles with kids 3+ years old than her is just me thinking him better than my nan. A lot of people said to try to co-sleep with the 7-year-old, so I have started doing that. It's helping a bit, and she actually will lay down, so that's a win, but she still cries a lot and tries to get up. She also does a death grip on me, so I have kind of accepted that I have to go to bed when she does. It's not the worst thing ever because I have been looking things up and reading online whilst I lay with her when she eventually calms down. I've ordered melatonin to try. I share a room with 16-year-old, and she doesn't want 7-year-old in there, but it's kind of tough. I can't do anything about it until we can move house, which isn't going to be soon. It's not the most peaceful night with her in there because she kicks me and wakes up at random times trying to chat or crying, but we are getting some sleep. She slept in my single bed with me from 4 months old until she was like 2. I clearly knew nothing about safe sleep, but my mom had sold the crib to try to annoy my dad, so she actually had nowhere else to sleep, and I haven't told her that because I don't want to tell her mom didn't care that she didn't have a bed. But she seems to remember because she said, "We used to have sleepovers in your bed a lot, didn't we?" Also, I got 16-year-old earplugs and told her she can sleep in 7-year-old's bed in the other room if she prefers. I do my best to try to soothe 7-year-old in general. She had one of her crying breakdowns last week and said she didn't feel safe or happy. Then she said she wishes I was her real mummy. I told her I am her real mummy because I've looked after her her whole life and I won't ever leave her. She seems a bit happier since then. I'm going to get a photo of us for her to have in her little purse she carries everywhere. She's pretty sentimental, so she will like that. Yesterday, she asked me if me and our brother are married, lol. Obviously, I said no, and she said, "I just feel like you are my mom and dad." I hope that's a good thing, even if it is a little weird. She is definitely bonding with him, too. She always wants me to carry her around, and when I say no because I'm busy, he offers to do it, and she lets him now. She used to ignore him. Seeing her snuggle into his neck and actually relax is the cutest thing. Makes my heart happy because I remember wishing I had a dad who would hold me, and I'm so glad she is getting all the love. Me and my brother have had a few disagreements over discipline. He is pretty strict, and usually that's a good thing because they need it TBH, but sometimes I find it a bit much. Biggest disagreement was when he smacked 9-year-old and I lost my shit. We grew up with a lot worse in NGL. I have smacked them before, but I don't want to be doing that anymore. Bro thinks there's nothing wrong with one smack on the bum. I would just rather we don't go there. He said he won't do it again, and I don't think he will. He wasn't angry when he did it, so I'm not really concerned about it, and he apologized to 9-year-old. We're just still trying to figure out discipline. Our dad used an electric cord as a whip, so one smack on the bum is practically gentle parenting to us. I have read enough to know we don't want to be doing any physical disciplining, though worst thing I've had to do is give the youngest 2 suppositories. My sister gave me money to take them to the GP because I was worried about them and couldn't find any for free and didn't want to wait for kinship. Turns out they are both malnourished, underweight, and constipated AF. And they've missed some vaccines. For the constipation, we tried medicine and more fiber and more water, but no bueno, so it had to be the suppositories because the doctor said it was verging on severe. I tried to explain it to them and make the whole thing easy, but it turned into quite the drama. 9-year-old was easier, but still took me a while. 7-year-old was impossible, and everyone got too stressed on day 1, so we left it, and she was still not complying on day 2, so my brother had to get involved and pretty much had to hold her down, because I called the doctor, and she said either we do it or I take her in and they do it. We had no choice, really, and I still feel horrible about it. I'm obsessed with what they're eating now because I don't want anyone going through that. But I will say they are a lot better since. They aren't getting tummy aches, and they aren't so grouchy, and it has helped 7-year-old with her sleep for sure. We are getting the other 3 to the doctor next week. We will do telehealth after, but I want them to see someone in person for the first appointment. After that, the next thing on the list is dentist. We have looked at therapy and should be getting telehealth sessions soon. So far, all 3 teenagers have said they aren't doing therapy, but I will try to make them at least try it. 16-year-old is still difficult. She took my ID and she was going out whenever she liked. But my brother grounded her and she has actually listened and not tried to sneak out. The other 3 are doing okay. No big issues with them, TBH. They are adapting pretty well, I think. I try to talk to them all about everything when I can, and they all seem to understand what's going on and trust that we won't be going anywhere, and we just need them to cooperate with us so we can get through. My little brother J12 is obsessed with older bro. I used to have an issue with Jay going out every evening for hours and was so stressed about trying to keep him home and safe, but Matt being here has basically eliminated the issue. Jay just wants to be around him all the time, and Matt has somehow got this kid thinking doing homework with him is the best thing ever. Sorry this is so long again. I'd how long I will keep doing these updates, but for now everyone is so incredibly helpful that I will carry on posting because I always need more advice. The advice and support from everyone in the comments and PM has been amazing and has actually helped change our day-to-day life for the better, so thank you SM Internet strangers. The supportive comments kept coming in. Litleb1988 wrote, "You already know this, but have the social worker help you get the 7-yo and 16-yo into therapy. ASAP. All of you if you can. But them now. 7-yo is forming attachments and associations that will cause more harm in the future if not addressed now." Op responded, "I've asked about it, and the only in-person one is literally impossible for us to get to. So telehealth is the only option, and we are going to start that soon, but IDOWhow I'm going to get a 7-year-old to engage in therapy over the phone or online. She doesn't have the attention span for that, and 16-year-old has flat out said she isn't going to do it. I could probably use some leverage to make her do it, but IDOW if that's a good idea." Azile96 wrote, "You and your brother are doing an incredible job. You were forced into this position because your adult parent couldn't parent and had seemingly failed at being an adult as well. You have taken on a huge responsibility. It does seem like your 7-year-old especially is dealing with some abandonment issues. I imagine every sibling is dealing with some of that in one way or another. You are providing a good safe space for them. Family and/or trauma therapy would be good. Having teenagers myself, I can understand how frustrating it is to get them therapy because most teenagers don't think they need it and will push back. You can get guidance from a therapist on how to deal with certain issues you are facing, so that can at least help those reluctant in your family in some manner. Indirect help is better than no help. Just remember you are doing something that most parents struggle with even fewer kids to watch after. Give yourself and your brother some grace and just keeping up the good work." Op responded, "Yeah, TBH, I'm still shocked how hard she is taking it because it's not the first time, and she literally has never been close to my mom even remotely. Last year, my mom told her she loved her only because we were in public, and Elle turned around and told her she doesn't love her. She only loves me. The others, I think, are more used to our mom, maybe. But yeah, everyone needs therapy, I guess. All the teenagers are saying they will not do therapy. 12-year-old we could easily force, but not sure about the girls. But yeah, even if I can speak to someone and find out how to help them, then that will be good. It's just a lot dealing with all the mental stuff when the physical and day-to-day issues are taking up literally all my brain space as it is." Trade2996 wrote, "This randomly popped up on my feed, so I had to go back and read the other posts. It's awesome how great of a sister you are and how great your older brother is. Glad to see things are starting to look up. Reading the whole thing reminds me of the show called The Loud House. Hope things continue to go up. Sorry you have terrible parents." Op responded, "Thank you, SM. Lol people always tell me various shows we remind them of, and I have never seen any of them. Probably for the best." Bleacher Blonde wrote, "You are doing an amazing job, and their lives are already so much better. You and your brother really stepped it up, and that is so admirable. Just keep doing what you're doing. I know it may not mean much, but this internet stranger is so damn proud of you. You've gone through so much, much more than anyone should have to go through." 2 weeks later, Op shared another update. My previous posts explain everything, but short version is, our mom left right before Christmas, and I'm now looking after my 5 younger siblings. 16-year-old has been a pain in the $dollar the whole time. So unhelpful, permanently grumpy, and arguing about everything and winding up the younger ones just to be annoying. Basically making my life harder every chance she gets. She got her phone confiscated today because she was videoing our little sister having an emotional meltdown and laughing at her. Later on, whilst I was putting the phone away, I saw a message from our mom pop up saying some horrible as ***T. My mom hasn't messaged me in weeks, and 16-year-old hasn't mentioned messaging her at all, so I was like, WTF. Took me a few attempts to get into her phone, but I got in and saw so many messages. Mostly her begging our mom to come home, and our mom either ignoring her or telling her to come to the city she's in right now. 16-year-old sent her so many messages saying our younger siblings need her, and our mom replied saying, I think I know how to raise them better, so she is leaving me to it since I don't want her here. Most recent one was 16-year-old asking why she doesn't care about us, and our mom basically saying she has better things to do than sit here and listen to us all tell her everything she is doing wrong all the time. I knew she was having a hard time, but reading her messages to our mom has broken me, and I just want to stop her hurting so much. She basically hates me right now, so comforting her is very hard because she will not open up even a bit, and whenever I speak to her about it, she acts like she doesn't care. I don't know what to do or say to her. Meanwhile, my older sister just calls me periodically to tell me she wishes she could help, but she can't because of a list of reasons, including, but not limited to, her not being able to face being around our youngest sister because our parents said she was her replacement and older sis can't get over it. Which is like, okay, but baby sis just turned 7 and big sis is almost 25. So at some point she needs to try get past that and realize it's not the little one's fault. Big sis is struggling because she feels like I'm her kid, and she wanted me to come live with her when I was younger, but I chose to stay here and let my mom get away with not parenting. The alternative is my siblings being neglected and said like us. Anyway, I don't have time to be dealing with her emotional issues on top of everyone else's, and she's whining to me like, oh, I had to take time off work because I'm having a hard time mentally. Which makes me feel so great when I am working my $dollar off to feed 5 kids and dealing with 1 million behavioral issues a day and don't have time to do anything. Before everyone starts shouting therapy, yeah, it's in the works, trying to get telehealth arranged, but it's taking forever. We can't afford anything else, so that's the best we have for now. Until then, it's good old-fashioned, just get on with it and try not to $K the kids up any more than they are already. The internet had ops back. Mason Jeterix wrote, I'm sorry that every adult in your family is so $King useless. I can't do much for you, but you don't deserve any of this. Op responded, thanks. I'm trying to be the adult that isn't such a $King mess, but it's rough and lonely. My brother is a godsend if I would survive this without him. When he isn't there, I feel like it's me versus everyone else. Alarmed_ad for the 367 wrote, how old are you? Why have your parents left you in charge? I'm so sorry. This sounds awful. Op responded, I'll be 20 soon. My dad left 5 years ago because of my older siblings telling everyone he said them. My mom left because she can't handle the responsibility and would rather act like a young and free teenager with her dodgy friends. Elajapia wrote, I remember reading your earlier posts. You may not feel it right now, but you are genuinely amazing. You stepped up massively at an age when a lot of others wouldn't have taken on the responsibility of so many kids. Teenagers are always going to be difficult. Combine the hormones with everything you guys have been through, and it's not a good mix. She would probably benefit from therapy, but the difficulty is getting her to engage. Is there any help available through her school? Like a counselor, maybe? AmITheA wrote, I've sent you a PM. I'll happily cover the cost of therapy for you and your siblings. Please check your messages. 5 weeks later, Op shared another update. Another update because my inbox is still flooded, and I can't reply to everyone, so just going to say it all here for you guys and anyone else who wants to know. Been like 5 months now, JFC. Firstly, thank you for all the nice messages and offers of help and stuff. I really do appreciate it, and sorry if I haven't replied, but I have had literally 100s of messages, and it's kind of overwhelming for me. I have read most of them, and am still trying to reply to more, but it's a big job. Currently, things are going okay. Big things that have happened are happening. My older sister, the second oldest, is coming to visit soon. The relationship between her and my older brother is kind of strained because of some ****T that happened when they were younger, and the 3 older ones all lived together for a bit after leaving home. Honestly, I think it was just a shit show having 3 damaged teenagers living together in a new place with no support. I don't have time to be the mediator, though, so just told them if they can't get along, then my sister will need to leave, because the kids don't need any more drama and my brother needs to focus on being a parent. She's coming because she wants to, and she said she won't cause any drama, she just wants to help. We'll see how it goes anyway, but I'm low-key dreading it. Last time I saw this sister was years ago, though, so I'm trying to not think she's going to be the same as she was when she was a teenager. We have started planning to move to WA. My brother is desperate to get out of our town and not have to worry about our parents showing up. He gets a lot of anxiety about it. He doesn't like me being at home without him being here. His job will help him move over there, and he has been set on it for a while now. We will be able to transfer over there even with the kids being on kinship care, which is basically the only thing I was worried about. But that's confirmed. We will be fine to do it, so now I'm on board with it. Won't be any time soon, but hopefully end of the year we can move. Financially, we are doing pretty good. We have the kinship money, mine and my brother's wages, and my older sisters have been sending money consistently. My brother is good with money, and we are able to save some. I was able to buy the kids a small present each to cheer them up on Mother's Day. They have like barely any toys, so the little ones are psyched to have some things to play with and have been being feral outdoors way less this week. They have been playing Lego and Barbies like normal children. 7-year-old sleeps so good when I give her melatonin. I don't do it every night, but when I do, it's like a mini holiday. She sometimes wakes up mad, but I can deal with that when I have actually slept. Other nights when she doesn't have it, I either keep her downstairs and hope she will fall asleep on me or my brother whilst watching TV, or I go through the emotional bedtime routine of her crying and saying she doesn't want to go to bed whilst I read the same 3 stories until she chills out. She is doing better at school again now. It was pretty bad for a while, obviously, because she was permanently exhausted and surviving on literal air only because the kid wouldn't sleep or eat. Right now, 9 and 13-year-olds are doing the telehealth therapy sessions. 7-year-old won't speak to the therapist, so she's having indirect help through me. 12-year-old hates it, so my brother is trying to learn techniques to do with him to help him. 16-year-old refuses, which I was expecting anyway. Tried to force her to do it, and that didn't go well. So again, I just try to give her indirect help. I had some one-on-one time with her recently, and she was different in a good way. She lets her guard down when the younger kids aren't there, like she can be vulnerable or whatever. She said, "Thank you for looking after us," to me on MD. Haven't seen any more messages on 16-year-old's phone from our mom. She has completely stopped messaging any of us. The last thing she said to me was she doesn't know why I'm turning her kids against her. Kinda hilarious TBH, but just proves she is deep in Delulu land. On Mother's Day, 7-year-old went outside 4 times before 8 a.m. to make sure Mom isn't coming down the road, and she has been crying about our dad. Not sure why exactly. When I ask, she just says she's worried about him. 9-year-old gets annoyed with her and tells her to stop crying because our dad is a bad person. She is also very defensive of me and my brother and tries to police all the other kids and tells them to behave and be nice to us and don't argue/backchat/misbehave. I think she's concerned we will get fed up and leave. I reassure her we won't, and she doesn't need to tell the others off. It's kind of funny anyway, TBH, because she is no angel herself. Their diet is a lot better. We still have issues every meal of every day, but overall it's better, and they are doing well with trying to eat new things. Years of ramen and chicken nuggets has obviously been horrible for our bodies. But they all have at least one fruit or veg a day and have real dinners. They like pasta bake, so that's the new ramen around here. My brother cooks curry and tries to get them to eat it, but that doesn't go down so well. They like when he makes chicken and potatoes. 7-year-old likes blue eye pouches of vanilla custard and would eat those for every meal if I let her. My oldest sister is still a pain in the dollar and wants to talk about our trauma all the time. She just has more time to dwell than I do. I have no time to dwell. I asked her to please not message me unless it's positive or helpful. Her reply showed she really is just jealous that I am giving all my time and energy to the kids, but I really don't have it in me to look after an adult's emotional needs as well. She sees me as her kid, and she wants to see me but doesn't want to see the younger ones. Like she asked me to come visit and leave them with my brother for a few days. I'm not going to leave insecure kids who are permanently stressed that I will leave for good. Imagine how stressed they would be the whole time. She also thinks I am babying them, but I'm just treating them like children. Mostly it's just annoying that she is like this, but it's also partly upsetting because TBH there is nothing I would love more than for her to meet and love 7-year-old. For me it would be like my mom meeting my child. Because my oldest sister raised me when I was really young, and 7-year-old is the only one of the kids I have fully raised since she was a tiny baby, and my mom told me she didn't want her. Anyway, I am trying not to get too caught up in everything with my older sister because I have enough going on with all the kids. My grandma is still at my aunt's house and very unhelpful, but she's not bothering me much, so that's ideal. She mentioned wanting my cousin to move in here because he got kicked out by his girlfriend and has nowhere to live. But $K, that FR, he's a creep and a Dr. G add *** T, so no way is that happening. Over my dead body, this has taken me like 3 days to finish writing, and I have probably forgotten some stuff, but really just wanted to say thanks for the support, and I'm not ignoring my messages, I just am busy and overwhelmed. The internet continued to offer support. Culture in Novel 6746 wrote, "You are an inspiration. It would have been so easy, in one sense, to walk away and live your own life away from all this. That you love your siblings enough to pour so much into them, even when they're being difficult or horrible to you, tells us a great deal about who you are. It looks like one-on-one time, when you can afford to do it, is best with 16 or old. It would give her an opportunity to bond a bit with you as something other than an authority figure. Is there anywhere your older sister could stay nearby when she visits? An old friend of hers or a current friend of yours? You are both apprehensive about this visit. She clearly cares about you and probably still sees you as the young person you were when she left. Some space might make it a bit easier and less likely to end in drama. There's a community out here who cares for and about you. Reach out if you need help. All the best." Op responded, "Thank you. The sister that's coming to visit isn't my oldest sister. She's not the one causing all the drama. That one won't come visit because she can't be around the kids, apparently. It's the second oldest that's coming. There's not really anywhere else she can stay. We will see how it goes, but I'm going to be really blunt with her about how things need to be, and her and my brother need to forget their issues." Power Tripping Gentry wrote, "Thank you for taking the time out of your incredibly busy new life to update us. Sounds like you're making all the right moves with your older brother with these kids. Keep up the good work, and we are all here to lend an ear whenever you need. $K grandma too. She should have absolutely stepped up instead of putting it all on her 19-year-old granddaughter. You got the right instincts, keep that cousin far away from y'all, and call the cops if he ever shows up. Whenever y'all move, see what can be done about moving close to a larger therapy center." Aliastic wrote, "You've got a great head on your shoulders, and you're doing a great job with your siblings. It sounds like everyone is taking good steps forward. It sounds like you're all getting more sleep and new food and even some more chill moments, especially with the new toys. When you make the move to WA, you may want to see if you have a Buy Nothing group in your area. There may also be one in your current area. I tend to see a lot of kids' toys on mine. You can also make a post and see if anyone has kids' toys that they'd like to get rid of, which your siblings may like. Seriously, though, you're doing great. I hope that you're able to take a little bit of time for yourself to get some alone time in, or read a book, or whatever it is that makes you happy, and that your sister who will be visiting helps makes things easier and not harder. Foxy_Train wrote, whenever you have the time to take a breath, you could benefit from some reading. Burnout by Emily and Amelia Nagoski could be super helpful for you to read as you manage all the stress in your life. Best of luck to all of you. A few weeks later, Op shared another major update. My sister. It's the second oldest here visiting. She's 23. She is here RN and has been here now for a few days. When she first got here, I arranged with her to arrive in the evening after the younger kids go to bed, because I thought it would be a bit much and knew she would be emotional. She was shaking when she arrived, so Defoe the right call, because the little kids would have been freaked out. The first evening I was like, hello, this is not going to be good, because she was a serious wreck and wasn't sure she could stay. But then she slept on it and woke up way better and wasn't too emotional except at meeting the younger ones, since she hasn't seen them in so many years. Since then, things have been good. Honestly, it has been better than I thought, and I feel kind of bad for dreading it so much. She is obviously different from her teenage self. She's never been really maternal or anything, and in my head that was a bad thing, but it's actually good because she's hanging out with the kids as a sister, not a third parent figure. 16-year-old is very similar in personality to her, so she has enjoyed having her here and having an adult to talk to who isn't me or Matt. 13-year-old is clingy AF recently, and having my sister here means she has clung to her instead of me all the time. 12-year-old is not impressed about having another girl in the house and says she stinks of perfume. 9-year-old wants to know why she's here and when she's leaving and if she's going to visit again, but when she isn't worrying, she is having fun getting my sister to do different hairstyles for her. And 7-year-old only has eyes for me and is totally psyched when all the others are hanging out with Big Sis so she can have me to herself. She did ask my sister to let her out of timeout and was best buddies with her for 10 minutes until she got over being annoyed with me. I have got some time with my sister alone, which has been nice to properly speak to her and get her opinion on some stuff and have her clear up things that happened with my dad. She Defoe has a lot of issues still, but she is doing good for herself and pretty happy and isn't spiraling like our oldest sister. She pretty much said oldest sis has a lot of guilt issues for leaving and was expecting me to move in with her at 16, so is struggling a lot that I didn't and doesn't get how I was able to stay when she couldn't. Pretty sad hearing it, TBH, and I will Defoe talk to my oldest sister again and try help her, but I don't want to get sucked into being her therapist. Matt has got along with her fine too. But they aren't besties, but they seem like they have put their issues aside and can handle being around each other, which they Defoe couldn't do a couple years back. Why exactly, but seems like Matt and oldest sis had guilt issues, and my other sister didn't. She has always been self-centered, but TBH, it seems like that might be a good thing for her sake, and they had a lot of arguments about what they should and shouldn't be doing when they left. I think essentially middle sis was having too much fun and enjoying her life too much for the other two to handle because they didn't think she gave a ST about the rest of us, which she probably didn't, but that's good for her, I guess. Anyway, she is staying for the week, I think, since it's going pretty well. Other things. My nan is still winding me TF up owl all the time. She whines at me daily about wanting my cousin to come live here, and she threatens to kick us out all the time, even though she told our caseworker we can live here as long as we need. Try not to waste my energy getting pissed off at her because my patience is running thin as it is, but JFC, she is so annoying and so aggy because she's offended that I told her she's a shit parent and grandparent. My mom may have found my dad. I only suspect it because she has been messaging me demanding photos of my 12-year-old brother, and chances are she just wants to show my dad that he looks like him. She only gives a ST about her kids when she's trying to use them to make our dad love her. I told her to go F herself because I'm not sending her any photos. Like, get a effing grip. If you don't already have photos of your own child on your phone, that's a you problem. She has been a bee to him his entire life anyway. If dad leaves soon after you're born or whilst she's still pregnant with you, you're in her bad books for life. 22. Me, 16. 12 and 7 were all in the bad books before we could hold our own heads up, and the oldest two are in the bad books for not being quiet about him absing them and letting it continue so my mum could live her dream of having my dad at home. Also should mention my dad has other kids. ID how many, and I have never met them, but he has mentioned them before, and I thought they may have been made up, but my sister said one of them contacted her ages ago, so they defo exist. 7-year-old has been calling me mummy. I have mixed feelings about it. I feel bad that this little kid has to resort to calling a 20-year-old mess mummy. It has made it feel a lot more real, like, damn, I really am all these kids have at this point. I know my mum would never sort herself out, but deep down I guess I felt like I'm the temporary guardian, and now I've fully realized no one is coming to take over at any point. I knew that, but I'd if it had clicked until a few days of the teeny monster calling me mummy. I'm happy that she has someone she can call mummy, though. She wouldn't have that in foster care, so that makes me feel better. It would be really effing sad if she had no one to call mummy at 7 years old. 9-year-old has been a bit upset about it because I think she wants to call me it as well, but it feels a bit uncomfortable for her. She keeps crying saying she wants me to be her mum too, but I'm not her mum and she doesn't know what to do. I have told her she can call me what she wants, and it won't change the fact I will look after her and be there for her the same either way. I am kind of worried 7-year-old is going to start calling Matt dad, because she is deep in her wanting a dad era and desperate for a dad. Talks about it a lot and asks about having a dad daily, which triggers the other kids who hate our dad. So I'd if it will go down well if she starts calling bro dad. And I feel like it will be weird for her to refer to us both like that when we are siblings, but I don't want to tell her she can't either. She hasn't done it yet, but I can see her edging towards it. She asked me if I was going to marry Matt so he could be the dad, and he is so good with her. I heard him singing to her the other night. So if she's in lovey with 16-year-old, I have found it easier if Matt does all the tough parenting shit and I act like I'm on her side, kind of. Off-key knows I'm not really, but she doesn't want me parenting her, so instead of trying to force it on her, I'm trying to be more like just a sibling, and he is the bad guy. It doesn't work out perfectly, and I still get pissed off at her, but mostly only when she does something to interfere with me parenting the other 4. Like 7-year-old has her lovey's old muslin cloths she is very attached to, and 16-year-old confiscated one of them and wouldn't give it back, and I had to tell her you don't confiscate shit and force her to give it back by threatening to take her phone. But other stuff I leave to Matt. He is less bothered by the psychological BS with her. He just gets annoyed when I have an attitude with him and she overhears and copies me, lol. It's been a lot of trial and error figuring out how to deal with everyone because like 13-year-old is my shadow and does not react well to Matt disciplining her at all, but is fine if I do it. And 12-year-old is one extreme or the other, would tell me to F off, but would cry when Matt tells him off for it. He listens to me better now, but only when I grab him and make him look at me whilst I speak because he is the master of tuning me out. He cuddles me when no one else is around, though, and if Matt disciplines him, he comes to me crying. 9-year-old is a perfect angel until she isn't and decides to have a 30-minute battle with us because she doesn't want to brush her teeth for no actual reason. She kind of reminds me of myself as a kid trying to keep it all together all the time. But she is safe enough to then let it all out in a meltdown. Mostly she's pretty easy because she's reasonable, but sometimes she does go full demonic and tests our patience. To everyone messaging me saying 7-year-old sounds autistic, she's not. I've discussed it with a doctor and the therapist. She's got anxiety and abandonment issues and is very stressed in general, which is why she can't let herself lose control and fall asleep. But she was not like this before my mum left at all. She used to sleep fine. All of them struggle with food because they have been eating ramen their whole lives, but it's harder to get 7-year-old to eat better. The older ones, I can explain it a bit better that they need the nutrition and they will try and eat more. But she doesn't give a F about nutrition. And she's crazy attached to me because she thinks I will leave, obviously. She has tabs on me constantly. But in theory, that should all pass with time and reassurance. Matt has been really good at not being like our parents were with us. He walks away a lot when he gets pissed off because he doesn't want to react badly to the kids. He hasn't smacked anyone since our big argument about it, which TBH is impressive considering how it was for us as kids. He literally has scars from my dad's beatings, and my mom has broken multiple bones on a few different kids. So trying not to be physical at all when that's what you're used to is hard, but we are doing it. I'm chilling out a bit now with letting him actually parent and not intervening all the time. Like a while ago, we were having a terrible night with 7-year-old, and she was still screaming at about 2 a.m. Matt came to get her off me because I was about to lose it, and as he picked her up, she was flipping out and accidentally headbutted him full in the face. I basically went blind and grabbed her off him so fast, because if that was my dad, he literally would have thrown her across the room and she'd be in hospital. But Matt just sat on the floor silently and held his nose for a while. I was like, WTF, he didn't even seem pissed off. So a couple more situations like that, and now I'm not so crazy in protection mode and feel like I can trust him. Anyway, this is a lot longer than I planned yet again. Can't stop writing when I start, even though these updates take me days. The internet continued to pour out their support for Op. IDOWorkHereLady wrote, "All heroes don't wear capes. I enjoy your updates. It's clear that you are working so hard for your family's best interests. Well done." ILstructure_AITA292 wrote, "Hi, just wanted to say you're doing an amazing job. It's hard to break generations of family dysfunction, but you're doing great. Not a parent myself, but from what I've been told, all parenting is trial and error, so you are definitely not alone in that. I do have a suggestion. Was initially thinking to hopefully help 7 sleep, but it might be a nice gesture for all the kids. Maybe a small stuffed animal, perhaps a lion or something ferocious in the wild, but cute and cuddly. Tell her it's there to help keep guard at night, or keep her company if you have to step out of the room, and explain that it isn't you abandoning her, just sometimes the other kids also need you, etc., and you'll be right back. You can tailor the animal and story to fit each child." Op responded, "Thanks, SM. That's actually a really good idea that the youngest 2 will probably love. Defoe need to get them stocked up with some more toys, so that's a good excuse to go and get them a stuffy and maybe a couple other things." Saranthich wrote, "Thanks for the update. I know it's hard, but you are doing an amazing job. I hope you know that you have a lot of people rooting for you all. For 9, who wants to call you mom, but doesn't feel like she can't because you aren't her mom, that one is tough because at her age she is right in between being a little kid and a teenager, but keep doing what you are doing. Explaining that it's okay either way and just continuing to be there for her is great. You and Matt are doing great. Be sure to keep telling yourself and each other that." Op responded, "Yeah, I think 9-year-old is struggling because she wants a mom like her friends have, but she is self-conscious about calling me mom since I'm obviously only 11 years older and her friends know I'm her sister. Have had some jealousy issues with her and 7-year-old since 7 started calling me mummy. 9-year-old has been mean to her, telling her to shut up all the time, won't play with her as much and calling her babyish. She isn't usually like that, and they usually get along well, so must be because of that, and 9-year-old feeling ST about it." Quillo90 wrote, "You and your brother are doing so well, and it's so wonderful that you're helping all the younger kids have a functional family with a real future. They'll appreciate it so much later in life. You are an absolute hero here. And man, you know this already, but don't let anyone make things even harder for you, like sending your cousin over to live with you. If your nan is so worried about him, he can live with her. You're already at the edge of being able to hold everything together, and I'm sure you don't exactly have a lot of space in the house either. I hope you can do that move to WAS so you can all stop worrying about family turning up." Op responded, "Thanks. Yeah, TBH, my nan's house is like the family hostel, like everyone used to come and go from here all the time, so my cousin is like, YTF, can I not come anymore? It's my nan's house, so technically I can't say no, but I am saying no because F that shit. I will move out and pay rent somewhere else. If she makes us have my F-ket-up cousins stay here. They aren't being around my kids ever, let alone live with them. And yeah, we don't have room. We barely have space as it is because there's only 3 bedrooms. The Chaplafrone wrote, "You're in such a tough situation. I really can't imagine how hard it must be for you. It's completely understandable. You're feeling all these mixed emotions about the other kids and maybe even feeling a bit trapped by it all. It sounds like you and Matt are doing a phenomenal job, though, all things considered. Like you said, learning to cope with conflict and discipline in a healthy way when you were raised with beatings is insanely impressive. I think it makes a lot of sense that writing everything out is something where you can't stop once you've started. It might be an idea to try some journaling or something to get those feelings out, because you've got to look after yourself too. Good on you for telling you mom and grandma to F off. That's hard as hell, and they deserve it, especially mom. Like you said, it's sad when a parent doesn't even have pics of their kid on their phone. It's a tough situation with the 7-year-old and 9-year-old wanting to call you mom and Matt dad. Might be worth asking one of the kids' therapists or doctors what they think about it. And of course, consider your own comfort with it. At the end of the day, families aren't just about the exact configuration of how you're related. It's about what you make of it. Sadly, you're not the only sibling being a parent, and there's parents out there being siblings too. Really glad things went well with the older sister visiting. Seems like she got that trauma reaction out of the way first and has gone on trying to be there for you lot. Remember to take care of yourself. If writing out these updates helps, then go for it. If journaling would help, do that. But go easy on yourself no matter what you do. You are doing amazing." Hop responded, "Thank you. Lawlight, if I could journal, like actually write stuff down, because I know one of the kids would find it and read it. Like 100%, 1/5 of them would find it. They find everything you don't want them to find, so yeah, don't want all my thoughts down in writing for them to pass round and show each other. Being on here is safer because only 16-year-old has a phone. Thanks, yeah, telling my mum to F off got me a huge message about how ungrateful and unhelpful and rude I am. I think she said I'm a sarcastic bee, but literally who TF doesn't have any photos of their kid. My mum makes a point of deleting photos when she's in a phase of hating whichever kid for some reason, and she has pretty much hated my little brother his whole life, so yeah. Everything of him is long deleted. I guess I spoke to the therapist about the mum thing, and she said it's probably best to just let 7-year-old call us what she wants unless we are uncomfortable. Item the mummy thing because I literally am her mum and have been her whole life anyway, but we'll see about the dad thing if she does start that. She just wants to fit in and is trying to figure out why our family isn't like her friends' families and why she has a Hanny and a Matt, not a mom and dad. Like she literally said to me, "You're a girl and Matty is a boy, and that's the same as a mom and a dad." She says ST like that daily on the walk home from school, so huge thing for her RN.